Hey, I get to legitimately criticize DSP gaming. Yes! Yes! Ah, yes! 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 And he didn't fap this time. He didn't fap. But he still did something stupid. Because he's DSP. Dark side Phil. Skip it up and that up! So YouTube's Content ID system. It's fun. I love it. Well, anyway, especially recently, most likely because Article 13 in Europe is moving forward, even more so because no one's really paying attention. YouTube's copyright ID system has become even more vigilant. Every day I have more videos. Luckily, they're older ones that I'm not even going to try to fight the copyright claims. They get like 1 view a year now. All my older videos are in content ID claims. They don't give you strikes. What happens is you don't make any money off them and you have to dispute them. And a lot of times, unless the video is getting tons of views, it's not even worth disputing. And it's just like, oh, look, that list is growing. Videos from 4 years ago that no one watches anymore now have content ID claims. Yay. Yes, it's a very flawed system, but YouTube has to have this content ID system as a safe harbor, because if they don't use this flawed system, then every record label and every movie studio would try to sue them into oblivion, and YouTube couldn't exist. So as flawed as the content ID system is, it's the reason why I could do this for a living. Yay, isn't it fun that you have to depend on a flawed system to keep your livelihood going? Well, anyway, Apex Legends, which is a battle royale game that was released by EA and developed by Respawn Entertainment and came out of nowhere, like literally, has been becoming very popular, and it's been live streamed a lot, both on Twitch and on YouTube. And well, the main theme, if you stream it on YouTube, is getting people who are streaming the game copyright ID claims. And people, of course, aren't happy because when your video has an ID claim on it, you don't make any money. As a matter of fact, the composer of Apex Legends music, Stephen Barton, actually said this on Reddit about the situation. Hey y'all, we're investigating what's happening here at the moment. It's new territory for me, but to my understanding, it's not expected. I always thought that such things were covered by fair use, because legally they are. But I suspect it's an automated system being overzealous and not understanding the difference between the inbuilt game music and music put on by the content creator afterwards. And therefore it was triggered by the soundtrack going live for sale. I think the Orchard Company is a parent company of the record label, but I'm not sure. So I guess that the Apex Legends soundtrack is actually now available for purchase. When that happens, I guess they put it into the soundtrack into YouTube's algorithm, and if it picks up that audio soundtrack, then it puts a content ID claim, which is such a broken way to protect the copyright system. But again, it's all that YouTube has right now. It's their safe harbor. If they didn't have this YouTube content ID system, YouTube just couldn't exist, period. With the way the flawed copyright system in the States and now throughout the world, especially good old Article 13, looks like it is going to pass. Yeah, they need to have this system. It sucks. Well, anyway, Twitter users were understandably complaining about this. One of them is my favorite, by the way, because, oh, Phil, you just, after doing it for all these years, you still understand what you're doing wrong. It's going to be so fun. So fun. I'm not going to attack the guy, but anyway, hold on. So people were complaining, understandably, on Twitter about this because it should be covered under fair use. They're streaming. It's a transformative work, blah, 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 blah. Legal terms, legal terms, legal terms. Well, anyway, this guy on Twitter said, hey there, Composer Barton. Apex Legends' main theme, Stephen Barton, is for some reason copyrighted by the Orchard Music. Can you do something about this? This is literally the in-game music and is affecting all Apex Legends content creators. Stephen Barton responds with, we're on it, being investigated. I think it's an automated system since the soundtrack album went live, but I flagged it internally yesterday afternoon after a few other streamers who hit similar issues mentioned it. So look, it's good, man. The guy's working on it. EA's working on it. Trust me, they want you streaming Apex Legends. The issue's going to get resolved. If they want to be competitive with Fortnite and PUBG and so on and so forth, even though I don't really consider PUBG a competitor anymore. I know a lot of people are still playing it, but PUBG is not what it was in 2017. They're gonna fix this. Trust me, they didn't mean to do it. Shit happens. YouTube's content ID system is flawed. But now, DSP Gaming does what he does best and makes himself look like an idiot. And that's just what he did right here. They call me DSP said on Twitter, and I saw this with my own eyes, and you're seeing it now. Warning, the brainless idiots at EA, he has such a way with words, have loaded the 30-second clip of music when you jump from the plane in Apex Legends into YouTube's content ID system, and all of my vids are now getting claimed. Yes, EA is actually this stupid / greedy, so disable music in the game. Phil, I have my issues with EA. Hold on, let me just read you Stephen Barton's reply, because Phil just made himself look really bad. Stephen Barton said, actually, no, they didn't. And no, they aren't. And it's being rectified. It was automation, a knock-on effect of releasing the soundtrack album to all digital platforms. We're working on it, not intended behavior. Sincerely, the brainless idiot that wrote the music. Okay, Phil. Now, before I criticize Phil and let him know that this is his part of his major inherent flaw, that he takes himself way too serious, I have made many mistakes in my YouTube career. I have made many to the point that probably is the reason why I'm not at 1 million subscribers yet. Okay, I've done dumb things in the past. I've given trolls way too much attention, which I've done a complete 180 on. Took me long enough to realize it because I am an idiot myself, but I finally learned that the worst thing you could do is feed a troll. Only took me about 2 or 3 years to learn that, but I did. Your problem, Phil. Now, this is just to take this from a guy who just went where a company manually put a false copyright strike on my account. Okay, and I lost it there, which that's more understandable. I think no one could get mad at me or Kyle from Bitwit for losing it when a company, abuses the system purposely, manually, because they're trying to sweep something under the rug. But Phil, you've been doing this for longer than I have. You know how the content ID system works. You don't get strikes because of this, but it's a flaw. So learn. Here is the problem: is that you go from 0 to 1,000 miles an hour instead of like a perfect example of how to kind of handle something was when YouTube says that videos can now get demonetized due to negative comments. And I said, YouTube, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, that system can be abused. It's virtually impossible, especially if you have a larger channel to control the comments, so on and so forth. You instantly go into, like, demeaning people. The brainless idiots at EA. You know the content ID system is flawed. It's not just EA. You know that the system as a whole is flawed. I'm getting, especially now because Article 13 in Europe is moving forward, I'm getting all these different videos now getting content ID claims on them. And it's not the brain dead idiots. It's YouTube trying to cover their asses. So if Article 13 goes into full effect a couple of years from now, they aren't hit with lawsuits from everybody under the sun. But you always go to this brainless dead idiots. You've even called people a YouTube like nasty names, and it puts you on this island where you're isolated from everybody. You constantly, I've seen you, Phil, and I'm not talking about like troll highlights videos. I've seen your streams, and you give your trolls way too much attention too. And you would think after year upon year of you going through the same thing that you would learn, and you don't learn. And that's why you're in this situation you're in with your channel. Look, I've done countless mistakes, and I'm still going to make mistakes. I'm human. I'm a dumbass, and I'm sure I'm going to screw up stuff in the future. But you don't seem to learn from your mistakes. Like, that was not the way to handle that situation. The brainless idiots. Now, if you got a strike on your account, then I could see you being a little more mad. But you know how this content ID system works. And you go way too far, and you have the composer of the game that you're live streaming knowing now that you called him a brain dead idiot. And you burned another bridge. And this is why, as a whole, Phil, your career both on Twitch and on YouTube are hurting. Because you are so out of touch with the things that you should have changed about yourself that it's almost too late now for you, dude. and I know you're going to see this video and get pissed off, but I don't dislike you. I'm just trying to give you some advice. I may have made a lot of mistakes too, but I've also done a lot more right on my channel, and that's why I'm further along, man. Not to bring up Fapgate again, but it's another perfect example of how you take yourself too seriously. Look, and I gave you credit with that. That situation could happen to anybody. It's happened to female streamers. It's happened to guy streamers. You think that OBS is off. You think that, hey, man, I'm done streaming. I want to go check out Pornhub. And the next thing you know, you're fapping, and you think you're done streaming, and everyone's seeing that you're fapping. And it was obvious that you were, and luckily we didn't see your mushroom. Because if we did, you wouldn't have a career at all right now. But where you messed up again is because you take yourself too seriously. You didn't just come out and say it. No pun intended with saying come right there, but you get my point. You didn't just come out and say, hey, look, guys, yeah, thought the camera was off. I gave myself a little stress reliever there. Happens, I'm sorry. And if you did that, that situation not only would have just went away much quicker, probably would have helped your career a little bit, but you tried to brush it off as, oh, I was scratching my leg, I was doing this, I was doing that. And then when you saw that it was starting to get attention, then you actually started to play along with it. But it was too late, and people saw you were trying to take it too seriously, and you're trying to damage control it at first. Stop, Phil, taking yourself seriously, dude. That's your biggest character flaw, and that's the biggest thing that hurts your channel, and that's why you have people keep trolling you, because they know they could always get a rise out of you. Take it from someone who fed the trolls for way too long myself, until I finally put the brakes on about a little over a year ago. Stop feeding the trolls, stop taking yourself seriously, and stop posting dumbass crap like that where you call the composer of a video game that you're live streaming a brainless idiot, because it does nothing but hurt your career. YouTube's copyright system is flawed, and there's nothing we could do about it, because if it didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. Stop leaving dumbass tweets like that, and stop taking yourself so seriously. This is Richard Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. I know no matter what I say, he's still going to hate me more for saying this because he doesn't get it, but it's what it is. Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.